No, because that was my job. I'm a leader, delegator, and so I was never after a certain point. Now, early on I did everything like everybody does, but I am really good. One of my God-given talent, my superpower is I'm a great delegator. I have no problem letting go of control and letting other people do their job and letting them fail and letting them succeed. Um, so no, I've always, once I reached a certain level and I put systems in place and I put people in place, my philosophy is if I'm going to pay you, I'm not going to do your job. So my role and my job has always been to coach. And that's really what I am. I'm a mentor and I'm a coach to everybody in my organization, people outside my organization. I mean, I've been doing it my whole career. I've never done that as a business, but I've done it in business with others in their business, in my own business. So I've always made sure that I am in a position to do that. And when my organizations were running at their peak and I had a big organization of 20, 30 employees, I had, leaders from the top down, and I would spend the needed amount of time. That really was my job. My job was to pour into them, spend time with them, go over their goals, help them reach their goals, hold them accountable, help them be successful. That was my job because I was no longer running the business. So that's one of the things that a lot of people forget. Once you get your systems in place, you get your business on autopilot, you don't have to run the business. You have to work on the business. A lot of people forget what working on the business really means is pouring into your people. And you're the leader. Leader sets the pace of the pack. So it's all about leading from the front. So you've got to take the time, to pour into those people, to help them set their goals, help them achieve their goals, and help them find out, what's going right, what's going wrong. And, you got to be sincerely interested in the success of your team and your organization. And that's everybody inside and out. And I've always just, had a gift and a desire, to do that in any organization I've been involved in. So, yeah, I just, have always made the time, for that. That's just how I'm wired. Yeah, and I get it and I understand it, and a lot of it is just DNA. It's just how some people are wired, and I have friends that will never grow, will never hire, and they feel like they have to do it all themselves because they feel like nobody else can do it as good as me. So number one, you have to be able to have the ability to let others make mistakes and to coach them through it and have tolerance for it. And as long as they're not huge, mistakes that cost you a ton of money, it's kind of easy to do that. But again, the mindset shift is instead of working on the business, you want to be working on the people in your business
Yeah.
and growing them and helping them, and have the philosophy of, if I have people in my organization that I'm paying, I am absolutely not going to do their job. They're here for a reason. I'm paying them to do their job. And, uh, so your number one role should be growing your people. And if you really want to grow your organization and with the projects that you're working on, you've got a huge opportunity in front of you to where you've got to really, you're at a critical stage where you got to make that shift now and say, okay, I've got to start turning this over so we can really grow, because once you release this thing, what's going to happen, and you're going to have this huge demand and this huge appetite, and then they're going to be asking for things. And in order for you to stay relevant, you got to stay ahead of that curve. You cannot and will not be able to do that yourself. So you've got to find the best people you can. I always use the analogy, you don't buy a thoroughbred and leave him locked in his stall, right? You buy a thoroughbred, you let him out on the track. So you got to find champions, you got to find winners, and you got to coach them to success and let them do, what it is they're meant to do. And then you've got to organize your day and your time in working on the people and helping them solve problems and letting them solve their own, but coaching them, overseeing them to where your day becomes meetings. Okay, I'm going to check in on these videos. How's it going? Obviously you don't want to let go completely because you need to make sure that you're delivering quality and the content is there, but you really shouldn't be filming the videos. You should be reviewing and critiquing and helping edit those. And while the other person's doing it, but then let them do it. Same thing with, your developers, this, that, and the other. You want to be over their shoulder, kind of looking at them, coaching them, cheering them on, and letting them do what you've hired and paid them to do. And that's really, going back to, the average house flipper that starts out, they don't have any business training, and I didn't either. And I'm telling you, so the 1 Minute Manager series, so it's the 1 Minute Manager is the first book, leadership in the 1 Minute 1 Minute Manager, then it's putting the 1 Minute Manager to work. That's the second book. Leadership in the 1 Minute Manager is the third book. Those are the three big books in the series, all about how to lead, manage, delegate, and build a team. And then there's a fourth book, the 1 Minute Manager Leads Successful Meetings or something like that. I can't remember what, but it's all about how to have effective meetings. And then the second book that I recommend that you read or listen to is Managing by Harold Janine. That is the other book that's been the most instrumental influence in my life and career and business and my philosophies. Managing by Harold Janine. So Harold Janine was the CEO of ITT, back in the days, one of the first multi-conglomerates that, had all these different companies and all these different divisions. And, in order, so he talks all about how to have efficient meetings, how to run a multi-tier organization, but, he's not the guy making the videos. He's not the guy, doing this, that, and the other. It's all about accountability within the organization and having efficient meetings where, he'd bring his staff people together all in one room. They'd all put their P&Ls on the board and they would all go over what they're doing. So for you and your organization, you have your flipping company, you have your website company, you have your CRM company, and I'm not sure whatever else you're working on. So you should have leaders in each of those divisions, and you should be bringing them together once a week where they put their issues and their problems on the board and everybody kicks in and helps them solve it. And you're kind of in the backlogs, but then you're working on everybody and you collaborate, they collaborate together so that you don't have that disconnect and you have overlap between everything, because everything you're doing is integrated. And it all started with the house flipping, right? And then became the websites and the CRM and, and I don't know where else you're going next, but that's really how to take that organization to the next level. Same thing with the house flipper. So they've got to get the mindset of being a leader. You got to understand I'm a leader. My job is to serve and to give other people what they need to be successful. Tools, training, systems, support, and more importantly than that, clear direction in no uncertain terms what you want and when. Mr. Painter, I need you in Tuesday, need you out by Wednesday, 3 o'clock, because I've got, the floor guy coming. Floor guy, I need you in and out. So many times you hear people say, when's the painter going to be there? Oh, sometime next week. You can't run, you can't run that way. You got to have clear direction. I need you in by Tuesday, out by Wednesday. And, just like your budgets, we got $5,000. That's all you got. Make it happen. And they do, and it's interesting when you put those goals up in front of people, they really do make it happen, and they really do, want to please and achieve it. But if they don't have, if there's no yard markers, no end zones on the field, man, you're just running in circles all day. So that's really, if anybody gets anything out of this whole thing today, and at whatever level you want to be at, whether you're doing 10 deals a year or whether you want to do 500 deals a year, I would look into the 1 Minute Manager and Managing by Harold Janine, and I would flip the mindset of working on my business to working on the people in my business. Because people are your most valuable resource and your most valuable asset. That's what the 1 Minute Manager system is all about. Growing and developing people, helping them be successful. And I tell you, I get more of a kick out of that than anything else, is helping people watch the light bulb go off in their minds and their careers and their lives and realize, wow, I'm doing everything I've been created to do my entire life, everything I've been working towards my entire life. I just needed somebody to tell me I can and show me how.